Dear fellow Toastmasters and honorable guests, good evening.
Good evening.
Have you ever faced a situation in which you have to manage conflict between your family members or work team members? What will you do in this case? Will you fight with them? Will you shout with them? Will you slap them in their faces and ask them not to argue? Well, managing conflict is one of the most important skills in leadership. And the root cause of conflict could be many things, including the differences of opinions or fear or threats faced by the individuals and not necessarily the people who are involved in that conflict. Assertive and boundaries are very essential skills in order to manage the conflict. Being able to speak about your opinions, about your needs, about your thoughts is very, very important, not necessarily at work, but also in your relationships. At work, there was an incident in which we had to implement a new system. And we have held many sessions in order to train the staff about how to utilize the system. And after that, we have to implement a new process in order to reflect a specific KPIs and milestones in order to meet a specific goals and objectives for each department. However, after we implement the new process as well as the new system, we found out that there are different results by different departments and a kind of conflict of opinions between the people. And so there was a kind of weaknesses in the results of our KPIs and milestones. And as a solution, we have decided to conduct a workshop. We have invited each and everyone from those different departments as well as the department heads. What we have done, we have explained the process from A to Z in a big board, in which all the team members can see the full picture of our process. And for each step of this process, we have analyzed their opinions as well as the negative and positive of each and every step in that process. We have dragged the team somewhere somehow in order to understand each other's opinions and think about other people as well as themselves, to understand the opinions of others from their perspective and not only from their perspective. And so we came into a conclusion, which is a kind of compromise in order to implement something called the best practice. While we were analyzing those processes, we have identified different causes that was there that could lead to this conflict. And one of the reasons was us as managers. The overlap of responsibilities between the different departments could lead to this conflict. Because at the end of the day, if you are assigning people for the same responsibilities in different departments, while your goals and objectives are the same, you are coming up with a conflict. As a result, there was also a kind of behavioral issues between the staff members. There were those staff who are not really ready in order to adapt to this change. And what we have done, we have held the training sessions, monitoring them, coaching them, and we were able to change those people. There was other people who were not really ready to implement the process as it is. And what we have done, we have assigned them to different roles or move them to another department. And in the worst case, there was those people who are getting into the company's success and cause some failure, and we had to get them out of the company. I have learned that communication was one of the essential root cause of all this conflict. And by involving all the people in that meeting, we were being able to address their issues, to listen to them, to understand their opinions and how they think and feel. Moving out the stress and fear and the threat that they feel against those process that was implemented as a new system was making a really, really positive change within the result of our KPIs and milestones. We have learned in Toastmasters that being a good listener is as important as being a good speaker. And listening deeply to the staff and understand their emotions and utilize the emotional intelligence is one of the most essential things in leadership. And at the end, I would like to end up with this quote by Lyndon Johnson, which he said, "If you are not listening, you are not learning." Thank you for listening. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.